The first year of Dramebaaz in Bangalore, we were able to impact 285 children across 18 schools, and all these kids came, performed on stage, and the best part about it is the scripts that they performed were all written by themselves. So they wrote their own story, they told their own story, they sort of expressed themselves in ways that could not have happened in the classroom. A quick story before I get into the actual process, but how I really truly realized the power of a child in theatre. One of my students, his name is Salaman. Throughout my first year, I struggled to get through to him. He was would not listen, very distracted, and no matter how much extra attention I gave him, just his motor skills were weak. He would not write much, he wouldn't talk at all. Then I did a Dramebaaz session in my classroom, a typical theatre session where everyone's sitting, everyone's talking, everyone's visible, something like an LC. And the only thing I told them is, be creative, tell your own story. One by one, we're going to start a story, we're going to add it, each one of us is going to add a layer to it. And I said, you can say it in whatever language you're comfortable in, right? For the first time in a year, Salaman spoke and he actually added to the story, and his input was also used in the final performance. For me, that was a huge turning point, because a kid who has not opened up at all for a year suddenly speaks. And that for me was the power of theatre, that he was able to visualize the story and able to put it out there in front of his entire classroom. For me, that was really impactful and really special. And just sort of reaffirmed that I'm doing something interesting and something really nice. So right now Dramebaaz is in 4 cities. It was in 5 last year. Hoping to bring it to Chennai as well this year. It didn't take off as much as we wanted to in Chennai last year. But we're really hoping to bring it here, because in a city where movies is #1 on everyone's priority list, a Friday night, boom, you're going to the theatre, right? In a city where people live and breathe movies and actors, I think the potential is really high in Chennai. And I'm sure you would have seen your kids just jumping up and down in a lot of joy and just always wanting to act, and that's what I want to bring to Chennai as well. Our mission is to build creative and confident agents of social change. We are focusing mainly on confidence, creativity, collaboration, and self-esteem. These are the 4 life skills that we're focusing on, because we feel there's also a study that's done that drama actually improves these 4 life skills, and it's been proven, and you will see how it improves for our kids as well. And by 2025, we want to empower 1 lakh children with these skills. That's our mission. Very simple approach. You just have to sign up for it. We will give you the training. The teachers are given the training. The teachers then take it to classroom, conduct the sessions, and then there's a showcase for all the teams to come together. The idea is just to bring the kids on stage for the first time with the parents seeing it. And when we did it in Bangalore, I saw so many parents just in tears and crying, because that was a huge moment for them. In the context that we are, they don't get that. And to see their kids on a grand stage with sound and light, and claps and applause, that was something that just cannot be taken away from the parents' memory, and it was very beautiful. Again, it's not only these life skills that we've seen improvement, we've also seen improvement in academics as well. For example, we did a small study of a small sample of students of before Dramebaaz and after Dramebaaz, and we saw that the RC growth for children after Dramebaaz was much more than kids who are not part of the process. And we've just had a hypothesis that's probably because they're living the script, right? They're living the final elements of RC, which is traits and feelings and stuff, which makes it more easier for them to understand the story, right? So we felt that that could be one of the reasons why the RC growth is much higher. And of course, tying it back to values, there's collaboration, and there's a lot of ownership, because randomly my kids started creating their own rehearsal schedules and things that I never taught them in class. But they were like, so tomorrow 4, we're going to have a practice. And I never told them for that, right? It's small things like that that just keep popping up that's going to blow your mind away, and that is the power of theatre. And just a small, again, to build a lot of independence in them, we give them this rubric after every session, and we ask them to self-evaluate, right? So we explain the 4, for each rating, we tell them for a problem solving, what is a 1, what is a 2, what is a 3, what is a 4. We don't use a theatre example, we use a very real life example to make sure that they understand it, and then we extrapolate it to theatre. And we've seen that initially kids will be at a 1 and 2, but as soon as they finish coming off stage, when we ask them the same question, it's much higher, right? Because all of a sudden they have this, I love expressing myself in front of people, people clap for me, I got an applause, and that that memory stays with them for a long time, and that's why we feel that it's important for the kids to realize it themselves rather than we telling them this is what's going to happen, right? So self-evaluation is another way we are measuring progress. When I look back upon the competencies that I built being a part of Dramebaaz, things like planning, time management, people management, resource management, these are things that I'm using in my current job. Planning was something I immediately incorporated into my classroom. So just in terms of the impact it had on my growth as a leader and a manager, I think that was something that really, Dramebaaz, something that really helped me in that.